This is the new elevated Metronet Carlisle Station. Carlisle Station is located in the South Western Railway, which originally opened on the 2nd of May 1893 from Perth to Bunbury. There was originally no station in this location, although there was ongoing requests from the local council for trains to stop at Mint Street, despite there being inadequate facilities to allow for this. Sporadic construction on a station occurred in this location between 1910 and 1912, with the station finally opening on the 2nd of July 1912 as simply Mint Street, replacing an original siding at the location called Hayden's Siding. A mere few months after opening, the station was renamed to Victoria Park East in October 1912. And 7 years later, in 1919, it was renamed Carlisle after the surrounding area was named Carlisle from its previous name of Bigford. The station was staffed for a significant period of time between 1922 and 1971, although not much else changed in all this time. In 1999, there was proposals to rebuild the station as part of the new Mandurah line, which was going to run down the South Western Railway and then travel from Beckenham to Cockburn Central before continuing down towards Mandurah. However, following a change of government in 2001, the Mandurah line plan was altered, and the original rebuild proposals of Carlisle Station further north next to the Mint Street's level crossing and with more space to allow for more tracks in the future was cancelled, with only minor upgrades proposed. These occurred in 2002 and were finished by the end of 2003, costing only $1.2 million, including an updated shelter and resurfacing and seating. This was in preparation for the Thornlie line opening, which was a replacement instead of the Mandurah line operating down this alignment, with Thornlie line trains operating all stations between Perth and Thornlie, a one-station spur off the Armadale line, which began to run express through all the minor stations between Perth and Cannington, including Carlisle. The Thornlie line opened on the 7th of August 2005, serving Carlisle Station, with Armadale line trains only stopping at night and on Sundays. This lasted all the way until 2023, when the station was closed on the 19th of November, or 20th of November, last trains being on the night of the 19th, which is already in the 20th, in preparation for the Metronet's rebuild of the station. This was going to elevate the station above the Mint Street's crossing, removing the level crossing and providing a brand new modern station. This was not part of the original plan for the Metronet upgrades to the Armadale line, but upon extra federal funding being received in 2019, the plan was altered to remove further level crossings, and eventually all level crossings along the Thornlie line were included as part of the plan. The line was shut down for 18 months until June 2025, with the Thornlie line being renamed to the Thornlie-Cockburn line and reopening on the 8th of June 2025, along with all the new elevated stations and the extension to Cockburn Central, finally bringing the original planned alignment of the Mandurah line into fruition, connecting the existing Armadale and Mandurah lines. The station is now served by both Thornlie-Cockburn and Armadale line trains, receiving a frequency of every 7.5 minutes during the day and on weekends, all the time, with both trains stopping and no more skipping patterns present on the Armadale line. This is due to an increased demand for better infill development and density in the inner city, as well as a general trend to moving away from stopping patterns on the Transperth train lines for simplicity and just general convenience. So, The station originally only served trains to Cockburn Central and Cannington upon reopening, but on the 12th of October 2025, the Armadale line was fully reopened to Byford, and now the station serves both Cockburn Central and Byford trains. Along with the opening to Byford, there was also the new Long Park, opened between Carlisle and Oat Street stations. Officially, the park continues all the way to Beckenham, although sections beyond Oat Street significantly lack any sort of proper park infrastructure, with it really not being much more than just like pathways and a few recreation areas. The station does not feature escalators or toilets, with it being a very much more minor station on the line, although it does now count as a bus interchange as of its rebuild. This is the platform level. We have a B series right there operating on the Thornlie-Cockburn line. Between June and October 2025, the Thornlie-Cockburn line was predominantly operated by A series trains. However, with the reopening of the Armadale line trains are now run by A series, with the Thornlie-Cockburn line being predominantly B series, meaning that you get a constant mix of these two train types on this part of the line. The platform is 6 cars long, able to accommodate the longest trains in the Transport network, an upgrade from its original 4-car length. However, this is only utilized on stadium event days, when Thornlie-Cockburn line trains operate as 6-car trains between Cockburn Central and Perth, skipping the 4-car platforms at Victoria Park, Burswood, Claysbrook and Mackayber. The southern end of the station features an emergency exit, but no proper exit, so any trains coming all the way down here are pretty useless. Although for some reason, even when there's a 2-car, it does stop all the way down here. Other than that, the platform level is pretty simple and similar to all the other elevated stations between Carlisle and Beckenham, except Cannington, which is very unique and different, and you will see in that video. So let's walk back downstairs now. As I said, the station does now count as a bus interchange, even though it doesn't really have a proper bus station. There are 2 bus stands located on Mint Street, which we'll go take a look at now. We also have the lift over there and some seating, and then back down. The concourse level of the station is also pretty basic, with this wide open area and screen displays, as well as open station smart reader processors, a defibrillator, information point and ticket machine. This is Mint Street, with bus stops located directly underneath the elevated rail corridor, providing direct access to the station. These service Route 38, which operates between Perth Busport and Cloverdale, as well as the 284 operating between Curtin University Bus Station and Belmont Forum Shopping Centre, only a mere few times a day. There's also the train replacement routes 907 and 908 for when the 2 train lines are disrupted. Frequency is not that great though. The 38 is only hourly on a Sunday, so you only get 1 bus an hour. There's 5 284s on weekdays, or 6 half-hourly on a Saturday for the 38. There goes 1380. The design here is very nice though. You can see there's a dedicated bike lane and the bus lane and pedestrian crossing, all the infrastructure you need. So this was the site of the Mint Street level crossing. It looks very different to how it used to. You can go back to my old Carlisle Station video to see what it used to be like. The station did not used to be right here. It was much further down, which we'll go take a look at now. So we already walked that bit at the start. We'll walk down this side of the station to take a look. Over here. Now, there was actually a lot of criticism about the elevation of the rail line through the area from the local council and mayor. It was said that it would really disrupt the local community and not at all add to the character of Victoria Park, and that it would be an eyesore for the area. But honestly, not at all. What do you think? I mean, I know it's quite a lot of concrete, but like, it's still way better than the fenced up rail corridor we used to have. So That's very nice. And look at all this open space. So the long park between Carlisle and Oat Street is definitely a really nice area. That's pretty much the only park, as I said. Beyond that, it's like not at all. So I think it's kind of misleading to call it long park all the way. This is the only really great section. There is also a car park located here underneath the rail corridor, which is a very good use of space as well. Not that big though. Stations here are quite close to each other, with Oat Street Station being only a mere 800 or so meters down the line, as well as Victoria Park Station back up in the other direction. Only a few hundred, for like 800, 900 meters as well. So yeah, the station does serve both the suburbs of Carlisle and Victoria Park, and is located approximately 7.4 kilometers from Perth in Fare Zone 1. Okay, so this is the car park, and over there is the start of the long park area. We'll just take a quick look there, and then that's pretty much it for this station. Definitely an improvement on the old one, but still considered quite a minor one. Probably the weirdest station which has been marked as a bus interchange. I mean, no, okay, Noranda's also really not. This bus stop is so far away, and like Cottesloe as well is kind of weird. But I don't know, it's just, I still have it in my head that it's not a bus interchange. Now it's basically on par with Oat Street in terms of both being marked as bus interchanges and both having all trains stopping there, which just feels wrong compared to how it was in the past. So the station was located around here. I don't know exactly where, but I know it, like over here is the Carlisle Tavern. Where is it? I don't know. It's all the way back there. But over here is the Harold Hawthorne Community Centre, which is actually a deviation for the Route 284, which is already very scarce service, but a few times a day as well it deviates to this bus stop here. Now this bus stop used to be directly across from the old Carlisle Station, so we refer to the deviation as the Carlisle Station deviation because it basically went right there. Now the stop on Min Street is next to the station anyway, but this is still here for the community centre. As you can see, 284, 2 Belmont Forum and Curtin University are both on the stand. I believe there is this little sand pit here which seems to resemble the location of the platform approximately. Obviously it was way longer than that though, so I don't know exactly, but you can see here, I don't know what else this sand pit would be for. There has also been an extensive recycling of the materials from the original rail corridor through this new parkland, which is evident with rail sleepers and the concrete and all that stuff, part of the kids' playground and equipment down there. So very nice public space under here. There is like a basketball court and a skate park further down as well. Kind of sad that it's very empty right now, not being used much. Only on the opening day it was very used. So you can see all of that. Here's the sleepers I was talking about. As you can see, very cool to have this, a reminder of what used to be here. Perth's first proper elevated rail and level crossing removal projects and public space revitalization, taking inspiration from Melbourne on the Pakenham line, where they did very similar things. So there's this area, and then you can go up this hill. There's a bit of not much in between, and then after that it's already all the way down to Oat Street. It's definitely really walkable. You can get there so easily. It's only 500 meters from here, as you can see by that sign up there. Just go all the way up. So I'm going to give Carlisle Station a rating of 4 stars. It is a very beautiful, properly done up new elevated station. It's obviously just more minor than some of the other ones, and I feel like they could have done better with the bus connections in the area. Yeah, and I guess better utilization of some of this parkland, because it's still not much and quite empty. So there is more play spaces down there, and Odd Street Station just beyond, but that is part of the kind of Odd Street Station precinct, which you will have seen in that video. Yeah, we'll see. And here's the view looking back. So let's go see the train clips now. This is one of my favorite views, when you see the train going under Miller Street over there, where they removed the level crossing ages ago, curving up back to ground level and immediately to the elevated sections. And this train gonna ruin our view of that train. And the city as well, and the school down there. Oh, come on! Doesn't even have Byford Destin on the back. That's like half the reason I delayed filming this video. Oh, whatever. Byford service. So they are just both every 15 minutes, like basically all the time. TCL doesn't even have a peak frequency, but the Armadale line has a weird 1 hour where it runs every 5-10 minutes. So you have a train every 5 minutes on the shared section, with 2 of them going to Byford and 1 of them going to Cockburn. Off it goes. And also, I want already.
In 2 minutes, the train stops all stations, including Perth Station.
Still with that dumb announcement. The boards here are still quite broken. Like, it literally goes down from 4 minutes to 2 minutes in like 30 seconds. I don't know why. Yeah, I just want to say, if you want to see the 6-car trains here, because that is one of the coolest things about the network now. TCL Stadium Day operations. We literally have 6-car trains in places where you'd never expect them. Down here, and they use all 3 train types, including 6-car A series, which is basically now the only time that you see 6-car A series still running in passenger service. They did run from Showgrounds to Ellenbrook though during the Royal Show, which was also crazy, but that was only at night and I missed it. And they run C series as well, so it's just really cool having that. Before we had that on the Yanchep Mandurah lines, but then upon Thornlie-Cockburn line opening, they moved all the A series off those lines, and now they very rarely return to them. So we only get to see it here now on stadium days. And I have made a separate video for 3 stations looking at the trains here. I will make another one very soon with now the Byford trains operating as well. And you also get to see the direct trains from Mandurah running express through. But yeah, really nice still having the mix of A's and B's here as well. Constantly. There is still occasions like that where absolutely no one uses it though, which is just the result of the short station spacing, but removing it would be pretty crazy. Honestly, I did feel like they should have removed it, considering how close the stations are. They did remove Welshpool and this is still so close. But I guess you can't really do that when there was already a station here, especially in a residential area, so. Bro, that's 8 minutes on both sides. What's going on? Not really properly timed right now.
Bye passengers. Your next service departs from platform 2 in 2 minutes. This service stops all stations to Carlisle. Leaves from platform 1 in 5 minutes. The train stops all stations, including Perth Station.
And there we have the 1-2-car A series which operates during the day. This is actually the only one that you see on the whole Southeastern lines on the TCL, while all the other ones are B series. So weird at this massive platform. And with the lovely view there, and we have another Cloverdale bus 2001 just departing now. Anyway.
Passengers for Cockburn Central, your next service leaves from platform 2 in 2 minutes. The train stops all stations.
Okay, now that bus bay is, I mean, there isn't really a bay, it's just in the bike lane, but that's pretty ineffective considering the cars are still stopping behind. And he's early now. No, actually, they can get past. Kind of weird. Well, perfect timing to see this 284. I also wanted to point out, actually, this is really weird. Look what they've done here. They did actually completely amend the train replacement routes just to get to this on-street stop. They used to go behind there and stop, like near the community center stop, but now they go down here and then down this road instead. So when they turn out of here, they have to loop here, and they had to put this bulge in the bus lane just for them to be able to turn. Just so funny, all this extra infrastructure just to stop at this stop. Meanwhile, when the line was closed for 18 months, they stopped all the way out there on Shepperton Road, which is like a kilometer away. Anyway, off goes the bus. Empty. Oh, one person, because who the hell would use a 284? Surprisingly an Optimus, almost all the time I see it, it's a gas bus as well. And like literally as well right now when I'm filming, recently they just announced more bus changes on November 9th. I know this is unrelated to the video, but absolutely ridiculous. So many of the airport line bus routes, which were done so well, are being heavily reduced in frequency now. Including the nearby 39 as well, which is not actually here at the station, but a little bit further up. Currently every 15 minutes all day, gonna become 30. But also the 284, they're removing so many of the trips between operating from Curtin Central bus station to Curtin University bus station via Jarrow Road, which means there's only going to be 2 trips a day left which do that, which is just ridiculous. So bad frequency. This route is crazy. It was literally introduced decades ago and hasn't been changed since. It's such a slow connection from Belmont Forum to Curtin, but somehow it's just survived all the bus changes and still exists, serving Carlisle Station today. And you can see the stop number is very low because they did just recycle the ones from the old stop up there where that bench used to be. Yeah. And they actually have the stand numbers in it and stuff. Pretty weird. A very unhealthy sounding gas bus. He literally sat like before the station for like 3 minutes. I don't know why, what happened, but Why is that school siren going off twice in 1 minute? And here's another really cool feature of the station here. They literally have an image here saying, and then it's like, of the at-grade railway line that once ran through this area. It sounds so weird to call it such a historic thing, but they literally have the tracks embedded in the path here. So this is literally exactly where the train would have gone before as well. So it's very nice to see that as well, showing how it used to be, perfectly aligned. Now there's that curve to get up there, because they have like a whole second corridor down here being possible, as I said before. And you know, since I did the original filming for this video, because I'm filming this way later, they've actually changed the route now. That there's actually a way more scarce service for the full route to Curtin University down Jarrah Road or whatever that's called, which is so funny. So now there's only like 2 full trips a day. Anyway, now that's also doing the Harold Hawthorne deviation, so if we run down here, should be able to get a clip of it here as well. Is someone actually using it? Oh wow. So that used to be the old stop closest to Carlisle Station. Yep, someone used it, wow. And there that goes.